All right, well, welcome everybody to our meeting today. Let's go ahead and get started. Our first order of business is minutes from our last meeting back on July 15th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Minutes are approved. I think, are we recognizing at this time Steve Abbott, or are we?
Yeah, we've got two
And Sam?
retirements, Commissioner. The first one is a recognition of Steve Abbott, and Travis Kiefer is going to introduce Steve and tell us a little bit about him.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'll introduce Steve Abbott. He doesn't need any introduction, but he's been before you many times before. But before Steve comes up, I'll give you a little bio on him. Steve began his career with the city 23 years ago as the Northland planner. And in the year 2000, Steve came on board with Parks and Rec. And while at Parks and Rec here, Steve has managed the acquisition of over 450 acres of parkland and collected over $800,000 in development allotments for money in lieu of parkland. So he's been responsible for several regional studies and master plans and served as the interim chairman of the engineering planning group from 2008 to 2011. So with that, I'll introduce Mr. Steve Abbott.
All right, thank you.
Since Travis won't say it, I will. This is a day you've all been waiting for. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to work for this department, and I appreciate the guidance and support from this board. This is a job career that I'll certainly never forget. I've made a lot of wonderful friends within the department and within the commissioners as well, so short and sweet.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Mark,
Yeah.
you want to say a few things?
Yeah, I'm going to say a few things.
Yeah, you mind just, yeah, stand there.
So you don't have a plan to show us some kind of piece of property you want to take on the way out or
Easels
something
and-
like that? Or something? There it is, a blank easel. But no, it's tough when anyone retires, and I know Sam's going to follow Steve here this morning too, but this afternoon. But he's a go-to guy when it comes to knowing the city. Planning is a big part of what he's doing, and his experience in City Hall has been a real asset to our department. I've been working city planning, and then Steve's knowledge of the real estate market, how to buy land, how to get free land, how to negotiate for purchases of land has been a big part of it, and he's done a great job. I think we picked up a lot of acres. I'm not sure what your tally is right now in parkland that came under your
Between
watch.
450 and 500.
Well, there you go. There's
Yeah.
almost 500 acres of parkland, so that's what we're talking about. So that's been a real asset. And I know Steve has his real estate license. I think he might be doing a little bit of that real estate stuff as he leaves.
Yeah, I'm going to pursue finishing up my broker's license, probably get that by within the 6 months.
Good, so you can keep practicing that. And anyway, a lot of institutional knowledge. Steve does a great job in public presentations. I know he's come to this board a lot. He's been down to the CPC on numerous occasions. He's been to the BZA on numerous occasions.
Plans and zoning.
Plan and Zoning Commission. You're going to miss all that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, it's sad to see
You
him
come out,
go.
they get roughed up every once in a while.
Yeah, but he deserves it. He's done a great job for us.
Thank you.
So 23 years and 2 months.
That's it.
Very
Yeah,
good.
come join us over here, please, Steve. Right there. You're good. You're good right there. This is good. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All
great.
right.
Well, thank you very much, yes.
Who am I gonna go to now when I wanna know what money is in the area for new land?
That guy in the corner.
Okay, he's got it. Okay,
Don't be in touch.
Travis,
Don't
sorry
be
about
afraid
that,
to-
Travis.
Okay. Okay, Commissioners, Genaro is going to introduce our next honoree.
Oh, is it?
Oh, okay. Oh, he had to leave. Terry will step in here.
I'll try. Mr. Duncan, can you join me up here? Sam Duncan. Sam retired after 30 years with our department. And Sam started as a lifeguard and ended up working his way up through the system, which I always love to see, and retired as a supervisor of aquatics. And really, Sam trained about everybody who's learned anything about aquatics in this city in the last 30 years. So I think you've touched all of them, and did a great job. And he left on June 30th, and we already miss him dearly. And I keep trying to figure out why he won't come back, but then he walked in today and he looks about 10 years younger, so now I get it. So anyway, Mr. Sam Duncan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Job, Sam. You want to say something? Yeah.
I just want to say I appreciate and thank Parks and Recreation for giving me the opportunity to work with a lot of young people and help them on their way and their endeavors in life. As far as their education is concerned, we train a lot of them, and fortunately we were able to see at least 85% of our young people going to college. A lot of them started with us at 16, went all the way through high school and college, and those that were teachers still work with us in the summertime in aquatics. So I thank Park and Recreation for that.
Thank you.
Sam, I've got a cardboard box with nothing in it, so I.
Well, that's good.
Did you get your tray?
No, I didn't.
Is it on its way? You have your tray? Steve, can we borrow your tray a minute? Sure. Come on up,
Just a
Sam.
picture. Come on up.
I might have.
He's got the tray, he's just he's giving his heart. You probably can't read that in the thing anyways.
It's just been gone a month, right? There you go.
Yeah, don't let him see, don't let, Heidi, don't take a picture of the.
I'll make it
detail.
blurry, yeah.
Get the flash on it good. There you go.
Congratulations, Sam.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I'll be seeing you around, right?
Here, Sam, give that to Steve.
Sam, there you go. That's for Steve. Okay.
Okay, we have another member of our staff. Fortunately, he's not retiring. He's just kind of getting started. That's Kevin Evans, and I'm going to ask Terry to do the formal introduction.
It really is an honor to introduce Kevin Evans to you. As most of you know, he's our Park District Manager up north and does a tremendous job. He has the fortune or the unfortune of managing the district that Mark and I both live in, so he hears from us often and does a fantastic job. A couple other eyes and ears up there that keep an eye on the place. But most recently, Kevin was nominated by the neighborhood for the Rich Knoll Pacesetter Award, which is a tremendous honor. Goes to a city employee who's really gone above and beyond and making a difference in the community, and was instrumental in getting the community build playground done up at Cersei Creek Parkway. And, you know, I've known Kevin, I think, since you got here, and I've always been a big fan, and I think he does a fantastic job for us, so congratulations.
There you go, Carmen. Well, let's not forget Commissioner Mecklenburg. He's up there too, so he keeps me on my toes too. Again, I can't accept this recognition without everybody else that works along with me every day. It's a group effort, team effort, along with the citizens. They're the one that keep you driving. They keep the drive going because they have a lot of energy and want to get things done, and they're there with you side by side trying to get this stuff done. But don't want to, you say you've known me for a long time, but Terry actually was the one that hired me permanently 24 years ago. And she's actually the reason why I'm in this position today. She hired me 12, 13 years ago in this position. I really appreciate the opportunity. Hope I can continue to keep on shining and making things happen. And thanks for the support.
Thank you.
Kevin, a Northland resident asked me a question this morning, and I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Do the guys normally work on Sundays watering the flowers?
Yes.
See, and that's a good thing. So
Yes.
I got that compliment. I wanted to pass it on to you, that the things you guys do are really noticed. And we hear about the complaints too often, but not about, gosh, they're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. That's a good way to start this meeting. And thank you all for the service that you've done. For those of you guys who are leaving us, appreciate everything. We know you're still going to be around supporting parks, even though you're not officially a staff member of ours, but that's okay. You know, we know the support is there, and thank you for all your advocacy and your hard work for us for the years. And Kevin, once again, congratulations and great work on your part. So thank you. Next order of business, resolution number 30264.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a consideration of a memorandum of understanding with the Recreation Council of Greater Kansas City. We had a pre-board workshop on this back a couple weeks ago to kind of play the background for the council, and went through some details, and Mark Boland, along with Jennifer Nealian, gave that presentation. They're both here today, and I think we've got you, Mark, coming to the podium first. And I see several members of the council board in the audience, and I'm sure you'll take the opportunity to introduce those.
And I will do that. Thank you, Mr. McHenry, Park Board, Mark Boland. I would like to first thank Mark, because Mark has supported the Recreation Council of Greater Kansas City since its inception. I believe it was in 2011 officially. But even prior to that, Mark has been an advocate of working with the Recreation Council, and probably most important, making sure that persons with disabilities have access to recreation and leisure experiences. I want to introduce a couple of our board members, Brian McMillan here, and we also have Don Saxton, who is a board member, and then we have Tom Sanders, who's a part of the advisory board, and then, of course, Jennifer McMillan, she is the executive director. But before they come up, I would like to just talk a little bit about the Recreation Council of Greater Kansas City and some of the things that we've done over the last 2 years officially, but probably the last 7 years unofficially. And that is providing recreation and leisure opportunities for children. That was in the beginning. Since that time, we've opened up the doors and opened up opportunities for persons of all abilities and all ages. One of the primary ways by which we do that is through sports ability camps, and that is working with other partners and working with the Royals for baseball, the Chiefs for football, Sporting KC for soccer. We've done some golf clinics as well. But over the years, I mean, we've probably served more than 500 young people and adults with varying disabilities throughout this program. I would like to say that, if approved, this memorandum of understanding will continue to add capacity both for the Recreation Council of Greater Kansas City and the Parks Department in terms of adding more quality services and programs to the population in which we serve. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for people with disabilities through increased participation in recreation and leisure opportunities, and that will be accomplished by strengthening community partnerships. And I think in the beginning we had more than 20-some-odd partners, probably have a few more or less at this point in time, building service capacity of staff. The Recreation Council has been responsible in part for providing training for some of the Parks and Recreation staff and developing sustainable resources through these partnerships, including the Memorandum of Understanding that we look to get approved today. Developing sustainable resources so that we can provide this service henceforth is a very important component to serving persons with disabilities. With that said, we certainly would like approval from this park board to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Recreation Council and obviously have the director and/or his designee sign for the board. And along those lines, I really would like to have Don or Brian or Jennifer say a few more words about the Recreation Council and how important I think this memorandum of understanding is for a small fledgling organization moving forward that we hope to continue to provide services as we go. Don?
Well, I joined the board because I spent a lot of time on a variety of civic organizations and boards. I used to be president of the Jackson County Board of Services, which is now called ETOS. I was there for many years and took this opportunity to be part of this board because it's something that's important. to me. My brother had cerebral palsy before he passed, and I haven't spent a lot of time, probably should have, trying to figure out what the, I don't know, mission statement or civic goals and purpose that you guys spend thinking about as the pole star for what drives you with your decision-making process. But I suppose if whatever fidelity that you guys have towards trying to meet those goals, it would have to include making sure that that purpose is expansive enough for everyone, including those that were like my brother, or otherwise disadvantaged in some way. So that's why I drove down here from my office to support Mark with this, and I hope you guys see it the same way. So,
Great. Thank you.
Jennifer, you have any? Next time.
I'm Jennifer O'Million, and I am the Executive Director of the Recreation Council of Greater Kansas City. And Mark covered it really well of what our mission and our goals are. And for me, I just want to say thank you for the support that Mark McHenry has given us to get this far with our organization. We have served so many people and touched so many lives of kids and adults and families with people with disabilities. And with this memorandum of understanding, it will help us to continue those efforts. And I just look forward to everything we can accomplish in the next few years, looking about how much we've accomplished in the last few years. So thank you.
Great. Brian, anything?
Good afternoon, board members. I'm Brian McMillan. I've been on the board for about a year, something like that. I'm a landscape architect prior to this endeavor. I've known Travis Kiefer and Steve Abbott. We did planning work together for the city on the private sector in 1997. So I've seen these guys throughout the years. Oddly enough, I had a spinal cord injury about 12 years ago. It's what I refer to as the roulette wheel of hideous misfortune lands on your number. You're thinking, oh, no, you always read about that. That happens to somebody else. But no, in fact, it happens to a lot of people. And just, you have one bad day and now you have a disability. But all you need is an opportunity to get back in the game. If I have a chair and the structure that the Recreational Council provides, I can get back into recreational sports. I can play wheelchair tennis, wheelchair basketball. And what the council is, the benefit that I see that it brings to the city in the metropolitan area, we all know how balkanized the metropolitan area is, and no one really knows what is Belton doing versus Lee Summit versus Northland, YMCA, et cetera. Well, the leadership that Mark and Jennifer are providing, it's like this umbrella ombudsman organization that keeps everyone knowing that you're playing wheelchair basketball and you're playing wheelchair tennis, but the cohesiveness of organizing that and the leadership of Mark and the Parks Department is kind of the gravitas of holding that together. If you see what I'm saying, the organizational structure that goes year in, year out, that provides us the opportunities, and whether you're were an athlete prior to your injury or you were born with a birth defect or whatever the situation is, there's this massive underserved population out there. So I think the memorandum of understanding, because eventually people will retire and move on, but the pilot ditch that these guys have dug, they've got us on the glide path to success, and the idea of formalizing it and having this agreement, I think that will bode well for the future. It's been a real honor to be on the board for a year, and I look forward to the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Anybody have any questions? I think it's a great thing for us
The
to
only
do.
comment I have to make, it's another example of the kind of partnerships that we've been trying to foster under this board and under the Parks Department in the past few years. And we look forward to a long and successful partnership and an outreach that we probably wouldn't be able to make without your assistance.
Exactly.
So you are going to be greatly appreciated in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Is there a motion to approve and accept the memorandum of understanding?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
So motion second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is item number 5 regarding the presentation of the trim grant.
Yes, Commissioners, another good partnership that has endeared over the years with our department is the Missouri Department of Conservation. And we're in receipt of a trim grant, and Forrest Decker is going to tell us what a trim grant is and introduce our guest.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
Yeah, each year we apply for one or more grants with the Missouri Department of Conservation under their Tree Resource Improvement and Management Program. Last year was no different. These grants always lag behind a little bit on the time frame, but we actually applied for this grant in May of 2013, received a notification that we were awarded it in October, and now have completed what we applied for, which was to send 2 of our staff to the Society of Municipal Arborists Training Institute. We sent Kevin LaPointe and Patrick Anyanike to that institute. They've completed that and everything now. So Wendy Sangster is here from MDC to give us a check for reimbursement of our expenses for that.
Great.
Yes, I'm here. In spite of the emerald ash borer hitting town, this past year has been really good for the forestry part of the Parks and Rec Department. I don't know if you're probably aware, but they received the Arbor Award of Excellence for the ash program that's been implemented. And then this is sort of a follow. This academy that they went to, the institute, is a leadership institute, and it's a week-long, very intensive course with experts from really internationally. And so there are other city foresters from all across the country and foresters from all over the place. So, it's been a great year for you guys, and congratulations, and here's your check.
All right. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Forrest.
Thank you, Forrest. Okay. Resolution number 30265, there are fee changes.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a little adjustment to an item we had before you on the 17th of June for Line Creek Community Center fees. We're adding a freestyle pass for $100, and if you have any questions, Terry can answer those.
Okay. Terry, and the freestyle pass is, just want to make sure you get this right.
That's freestyle skating, and the hourly rate is $11. And if you purchased 2550 sessions, it basically gives you a 10% discount to purchase it in volume. And the reason, of course, the patrons like it because they get a little bit of a discount.
Yep.
The reason we like it is because it's much quicker and takes much less time when they swipe a pass versus doing a full transaction. So
Makes sense.
that's why we're interested. It just got by us on the first time we brought fees through.
Okay,
So.
very good. Any other questions? Comments? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, resolution passes. Resolution number 30266.
Yes, Commissioners, another good example of our partnership with the Missouri Department of Conservation is our mange deer hunts. And we have before you a memo from Forrest, and got some experience here going back, looks like about 8 years on this program, and we're coming before you again for the 2014 season.
Yes, good afternoon again, Commissioners. As Mark said, we've been in a partnership with the Missouri Department of Conservation since 2006. We started out with 2 parks. Systematically over the years, we have added 5 additional parks to those original 2 for a managed archery deer hunt. This year, we are asking to add 1 additional park to that to make it 8 total. We're asking to add Pleasant Valley Park, a portion of that park, to this agreement for the 2014-15 managed deer hunt season. I'm not going to make Wendy speak on this. She's not here for that, so. But I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Well, as we discussed earlier, has this been run by the Police Academy and the Shoal Creek Police Station, which is adjacent to this? And then this park also borders on the community of Claycomo. And I didn't know if any contact had been made with them to make sure that they're all right with it. I personally think it's a tremendous opportunity because the deer population there is extremely high, but I think to be on the safe side, we ought to make those contacts
Right.
and make sure that there's acceptance by those.
Yeah, I've had some contact with the police department. We need to follow up some additional with that.
Okay.
And Claycomo, I have not contacted. This gives us the option to add this in if we still have some homework to do with Pleasant Valley Park. So,
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Forrest.
Resolution number 30267.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an amendment number 3 with SNA Contracting is spelled on your memo, some additional work over at Mulkey Square. And the memo from Travis spells out a little more of the history on the first 2 amendments. And again, if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Any questions, Travis? No? Pretty straightforward. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution number 30268.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a amendment number 3 with HDR Engineering for the Brush Creek Blue River confluence. This is the trail that takes, basically running east of Brush Creek on over to Blue River. HDR is the engineering firm. This is a time-only contract. It takes us to the end of the calendar year. Travis here if you have any questions.
No? Any questions? No? All right. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30269.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a change order with National Streetscape for $812,000. The lion's share of which is the work that would be done over here in the soccer village along Lewis Road. City manager came out and took a tour of the site and saw the great soccer field and says, "You guys need a new road." So we said, "Yes, we do." And Travis says, "We need $780,000." And he says, "Okay."
And you knew that right
So
off
we're
the
here
top of your head.
to spend the city manager's money.
We like that.
If you have any questions, Travis, I'm sure, can add to that.
Travis, good job. Is there any questions or comments?
We never turn down money from the city manager.
Right.
No, we don't. And he doesn't turn down ours. There you go. So with that, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30270.
Yes, Commissioners, this is Engineering Services. Engineering Service Company LLC is the firm. Change order number 4 on the Blue River Trolley Trail Connector. And this is a continuation of their project. Richard Allen's been managing this project for us, and Travis here if you have any questions.
Any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Next one is a consideration and acceptance of gifts and contributions.
Yes, Commissioners, you have a memo and 5 gifts total. Recommend acceptance.
All right. Is there a motion to accept the gifts?
So
Is
moved.
there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. On to the director's report.
Okay, first item is major construction. Travis?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have a couple of items before you on the table there. The first one is the KCMO demolitions and trail construction project. Looks like this. It's the demolition of the old racetrack out at Little Blue Valley Park and utilization of that material for trails in both Little Blue Valley Park and Angarny Park. So we'll have about 2 miles of bike ped trails in each of those parks, and temporary parking initially used with the millings, and then in later phases of that, we'll have permanent paved parking areas. That contract also included demolition of the barn down at Minor Golf Course. So both those, phase 1 of those projects are expected to be completed by the end of September of this year. Second one is a project that Councilman Wagner asked about every meeting that we have about when are the penguins going to be done, or when's the penguin going to be done. And so this is the repair and painting of the penguins, of Penguin Park. Obermiller Construction is contractor on that, and You can see some of the repair work being done to the kangaroo and the penguin figurines, and that work should be completed by the middle of August.
Thank you for the updates.
Heidi, marketing.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are coming to the conclusion of National Parks and Recreation Month, and so we've had a really good time this month doing our Park It Forward program, as you know, throwing out an outing every day and then going out and rewarding someone who participates in that outing. And it's garnered us a lot of positive and enhanced social media presence and engagement with our residents. So we'll be ending that in just 2 more outings. We, of course, had our official National Parks and Recreation Month celebration at the Big Picnic, which was a partnership with the Nelson Atkins Museum, and we had a great turnout to that. I don't know if any of you were able to get out there. It's such a huge space, it was hard to see everybody, but we know we had over 3,000 people because at 7 o'clock we ran out of 3,000 scoops of ice cream that were free for National Ice Cream Month. So it was fun. One of the things that we handled as part of that partnership was a plein air painting contest, and we had 20 artists come out and participate in that, which was really exciting and just kind of really added to the ambiance of the evening.
What happened to the paintings?
The paintings are going to be on display. We're going to have an exhibit and reception for the artists on the first Friday in October. So there'll still be an opportunity if you want to take a look at them all together or even purchase some. I think 4 or 5 of them were purchased that evening.
The winner was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it was great.
It's beautiful. It's amazing to me that they can do that in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the depth and the beauty that's in those paintings. So that one will be on display as well, even though it obviously sold as the winner. But I'll get you more details on that. But we had a lot of positive feedback on the event in general, particularly the plein air contest. Everybody really liked coming out for that. We had beautiful weather considering it was, the 20th of July. And we do intend to do it, even though we started this with the Nelson Atkins as a celebration of their 25th anniversary of the Sculpture Garden, or Sculpture Park. They do want to continue the partnership next year and make the Big Picnic even bigger. So we'll be meeting next week to go over some ideas for 2015. Additionally, we're working on finishing up a new kind of program section in the recreation section of our website, working with the race coordinators on some ordinance changes and race permitting, which we will take to the council in late August. And then we have a super busy month of August, and you see some of the items that are here on your calendar, but there's a couple more that are sneaking in at the beginning of August. We're tentatively looking at the 6th. To do a groundbreaking for Marlboro. Is it a shelter that they're adding over by the Marlboro Community Center? We haven't firmed that up, but that's just coming about. And then looking in the 8th of August to do, is it a ribbon cutting or groundbreaking for the Shoal Creek Parkway? Okay, so that means a conclusion, the completion of a project.
Shoal Creek Parkway between North Woodland and North Harrison. We got a request from the council members. Okay. Councilman Ford and Wagner asked us to do that. It kind of spans the council district boundary at that location.
And they wanted to get it done before school starts, so we're on a tight timeline here.
The 8th?
The 8th, but we're not sure of a time yet, so.
August 8th sometime.
Sometime August 8th.
Okay.
Well, you're only available in the morning or at 2 o'clock, so
Okay.
there's one that will be. And then we get into mid-August, which is super busy, the weekend, of course, of the Ethnic Festival, which is the 15th through the 17th. We also have Tony Hawk in town. He's going to be at Penn Valley Skate Park, which will be huge. And then the Ethnic Festival at Swope Park. The opening of Cleaver Boulevard is on August the 16th at 10 a.m., and that's at Keeley Park, which is actually right adjacent to Gates Barbecue there on Cleaver and the Paseo, right? Correct. I know we've gone back and forth in that location.
Cleaver and the Paseo.
Cleaver and the Paseo.
At Gates's.
Yes, and then, of course, that evening, Sly's Rock the Block, our partnership with the mayor for the conclusion of the Mayor's Nights programs, will take place at Union Station, followed later in the week by the opening of the North Kansas City Off-Leash Dog Park, which is another partnership with the city of North Kansas City. We're going to kind of have an event with dog-related vendors there from 5 to 7, but the actual official unveiling of the sign and the program will take place at 5:30. other stuff going on, but one thing I wanted to make note of on your calendar for September is the opening of the Swope Soccer Village. And that is Friday, September the 12th at 5:30. So that should be a pretty big one, and hope to have you all there.
A lot going on.
There is.
There's
There always is.
not everything's on here either, so, okay, great. Any questions? Thank you. for that.
Great, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Commissioners, we have 2 new staff members we'd like to introduce you today. And
Okay.
Terry, could you please make those introductions for us?
Absolutely. You guys want to join me up here? First, I'll introduce Terrence Williams. He is our new administrative officer and comes to us from the Health Department with very, very high remarks. As a matter of fact, I think Burt Malone over there is going to be angry with me for a while for taking him away. So he's going to replace what Linda Miles was doing for us on the administrative end, working with everything from grants, accreditation, performance management, every project that Mr. McHenry can think of to keep him busy, and I think he came back, this is his 3rd day, so, or second, it's only his 2nd day, yeah. Second day, so, pretty excited about that. So, thank you, Terrence, I don't know if you wanted to say anything, or?
Please.
I'm thankful for the opportunity to join Parks and Recreation, and I'm looking to add value to future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Our next employee that we're really glad to have also is Kristen Roundy. She comes to us from San Diego County and was hired to run the Line Creek Community Center. She has a tremendous background in recreation and turning centers around, both for community involvement and from a financial perspective. So we think she has just what's needed to add a little more business undertaking up at Line Creek, and she also is back for her 2nd day. So she does have a public meeting tomorrow night with all of the hockey moms and skating moms, so we'll see if she makes it back Thursday, but very glad to have Kristen on board as well, so.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. 2nd day, absorbing a lot, have a lot to learn about ice and pools, but anyhow, I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and I'm excited to show you guys what I can do. So
Great.
thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks, Terry.
I don't think there's anybody on the public hearing.
No.
No, okay. We want to take a quick look at the calendar?
Yeah, the month of July is about over.
Yes.
So there's probably nothing else on at that point. And that'll bring us into the month of August. Next board meeting's at 12. Got a couple of our partner meetings, Platte County Parks Partners, on the 13th, and the rest of them, I think, all on here are ones that Heidi's touched on
Yep.
earlier in relationship to the public opening events.
Very good. Okay. That's it. Anything else you want to touch upon? Nope. Okay, great. With that, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
I need a few minutes.
My pleasure.
I got plenty of time before
Yeah.
my appointment.
Yeah, let's
Glad
see
I
if we
could.
want